Can we see your shirt? Look.
Kimmy, you got
We want to see for the 2,000 people watching. They want to see that. Look, scam likely. Come up on your phone. Decline that shit, y'all, from now.
Thank you.
I love that picture. He like this, looking all dumb and shit.
Now you can tell he lying. Look at that. You know he lying. Look at his face. That's a damn lie. Whatever he said right there is a fucking lie. I know that.
I'm gonna step to the side and speak with this lady. Should I take this mic off?
All right. So one of the things I want to do, right?
I don't necessarily. We about to have a conversation.
A lot of
I don't know
people
if I
out
want
here
that on the live.
That may have been victims. I want to make sure, like, I can give back to y'all.
Big bro, can you just hold that so they can hear you?
Okay, yeah.
And TV land, thank you.
Yeah, so I want to make sure I can give back to the people that actually made investments into the J. Morrison Academy or Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I got 50 grand. Well, I'm down to like 35 now because I told her I'll give her 15. So if you invested, I'm gonna tell you to get with Tina. We're gonna verify that you official. So even you gotta be official. You can't hustle me. Yeah. So if you provide the documents, you can send an email to tina@tonythecloser.com, tina@tonythecloser.com. I'm going to give you guys until the 50K is gone. I'm just going to be giving people blessings. I want to just really give people like hope to know that everybody not doing the same type of shit. Like, and I don't have to do this to give away my money. I could just tell you to come follow me or whatever. You can see it differently. But I know a lot of people right now during this pandemic could really use their money back. I know it's a lot of people right now that can't afford to be without their money. And right now where you got, more attention than ever on social media because most people ain't doing nothing but scrolling, right? We need to make sure that we can eliminate the people where he pray at. So I know a lot of people was like, damn, Tony's been going hard. He's been consistent. He's online every day on Jay. Well, the reason I did that is because that's where he prays. He prays online. So we got to bring attention exactly where he pray at. We got to have the smoke right where he at so he can't feel comfortable doing what he does to people. So when you look at a Facebook ad, tear that shit up. When you see his ads pop up, you should be reporting it as a scam. You should be in the comments telling people to be careful, be mindful. When you see him pop up on Instagram, you should be doing the same thing. Like, we got to make sure that people are aware because attention is one thing, awareness is everything. We got to know what's going on. If people, like I heard many people say, if I knew that he had this stuff going on, I wouldn't have made an investment. So we got to make sure that y'all know, the other people know. Because there's a lot of people that's sitting at home right now not realizing they didn't got taken advantage of. Or they saying, it's only 500. They still hoping. It's a lot of people, like they're like, yo, this is ridiculous. It takes time for an investment to come forth. And it does. But it's going to take even longer when he actually doing shit that's unethical. When he's not actually buying properties that's going to help you make money. When he's actually taking that money and funding his own deals. How does that benefit the people? He said he was buying back the block and then he sold one house this year to a white person. Damn. What the fuck block is that?
That's facts.
So you go and buy a house with black people's money, lose money on a deal. They lost money selling the fucking house and you sold it to a white dude. That's a double, triple loss. So if you're a real estate expert, a mogul, all these things that he positions himself as, and he's about the people, you're not even gonna look and be like, all right, who buying the house? Let's try to make sure we can at least kind of, bro, you bought it using the people's money. There's no protocol to make sure that we at least keeping it with our people. You got the people's money, but you overcharging the people to actually do business with them. Then you got to look at it a little bit deeper. Y'all seen the new cash buyer program he got, right? Yeah. Understand the scheme, right? Understand the scheme. So now they're making you buy a wholesale course in order to get transactional funding. Listen to me, wake the fuck up. You don't need a wholesale course to get transactional funding. Transactional funding is something that all you gotta do is go to Google, wherever the hell you live, transactional funding in Atlanta, Georgia. You're gonna see 1,000 companies that give you the same rate. But what he doing is now he making you spend $700 and you're gonna have to now go through him to get the joint. So he's positioning himself to make money and prey on your ignorance. Is that illegal? No. Unethical as fuck. If I got a following of people and I'm doing transactional funding, that's fine. I can just say, hey, look, we got these. And if you're doing what's right by the people, you're saying you want to be a good steward and a good fiduciary of the money, you would say, hey, I got 400,000 people that follow me. Let me just start marketing deals online so we can move more real estate. We ain't gonna be posting COINTELPRO and all the other shit. We gonna be posting real estate transactions. Bring me your deals so we can actually get this money working on real estate. But no, that ain't what his plan is. Another thing that I left out that's important for the TREF members, right? So y'all know Isaac Grace. He's the guy that Jay claims made $1 million or whatever, right? Was Jay? I mean, Isaac told me himself that Jay made that up and it's a lie. Like, this is a fact. But so Isaac, who's also a $10,000 investor into the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, he approached Jay with a wholesale deal that he had. Jay was actually supposed to take that deal down using Tulsa money. The day before closing, Jay backs out on Isaac. Isaac wholesaled that deal, made $65,000. So I just want you to understand. Is this a good steward of your money? He's not even funding his own coaches. I just want you to think about that. This is his coach on the phone venting to me how pissed he was. He had the day before closing, he backed out on him. How can you feel good about your investment being there? It's impossible. You ain't getting your money back. It's impossible with that type of business happening. So I just want y'all to be mindful right now of what's happening around, right underneath our nose. You can come in and say, yo, I'm pro-black, I'm about the community, I'm about the people. But people are gonna buy into it because we're looking for leadership. We're looking for something that we can believe in. We're looking for unity. Like our culture, we want unity. Despite what people say and try to paint for black people, they always say, yo, we tear each other down, we want to kill each other, we want unity. That's why you see it more now than ever. But what's happening is you can't get it. I was about to say I know good fucking well.
I mean, it would be nice.
Oh man, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I thought that was Jay over there. Yeah. We was gonna get a little closer. But that's the thing, man. We gotta know that right now, it's not a us against us thing, because that's how people trying to position it. Like, yo, we tearing each other down. No. We need to have accountability amongst us. That's where we lack. Like, we lack accountability for each other. We lack, yo, calling this person out for doing something wrong. If I'm doing wrong, call me the fuck out. Just because I'm here today don't mean I'm perfect. If I do something wrong, call me the fuck out. That doesn't excuse me because I went and did a protest or whatever. Yo, if I go out here tomorrow and I do something unethical or wrong, you're supposed to call me the fuck out the same way. I think that's what Jay tries to hide behind. He had the Black Panther Party call me the other day. So they sitting on the phone and asking me questions. By the time they got the phone, they was like, oh no, we good on this. We good. They were like, we good. But what does he do? He tried to leverage previous relationships. Oh, I done went into some marches or whatever. Let me call and reach out to some people. So just because you've done things in the past that might say you're credible for a minute, if I do something wrong, anybody do something wrong, you're supposed to be held accountable. And that's what we're doing for him. Yeah, he's done some good stuff for the community. Maybe he was positioning himself the whole time.
And that's what it is. Yeah.
Maybe he was. I ain't gonna knock that, whatever it is, right? If you went out there and you did something that was positive, it's positive. What he's doing right now is bullshit. And that's what's most important. What he's doing right now where people can't even get answers to their money, they're getting blocked, that's bullshit. Lying to people, using the money for his own purposes, flashing off new diamonds for your wife while people can't even get their 500 back, that's bullshit. Like, I'm looking at you online, you buying houses, jewelry, and I got broke people in my DM sending me fucking shit to my head. I just want my 500 back. If you really rich in real life, give them their fucking money back. Then you ain't got to fake going to a hospital. Then you ain't got to fucking buy $10,000 worth of security and keep all your doors closed. Because it's not the last time we coming, nigga. I'll be back again very soon, but it's going to be unannounced. That's the difference. You got a heads up this time. I'm coming back unannounced. No refunds, no fucking peace. Y'all need y'all money back. The people need their money back. And it's not just about today. This is the point. They think, oh, look, we gonna make it past the 20th. No, the fuck you not gonna make it. It's not the 20th. I'm coming back in September. I'm coming back in fucking October. I'm gonna come back in November. Hey, you gonna get tired of seeing me in this motherfucker. Until you give everybody back their money that you took. Until I get my money back. We gonna be here every month. I'm gonna make a commitment on the 20th. Maybe the 20th. Maybe a little day or two early.
We need a private email list so we know.
We got all that for y'all. But we gonna make sure that there's consistent pressure. That's the difference. Consistent pressure. Somebody can say something for a day or two. They're like, y'all stop talking about fucking George Floyd.
Yeah.
Y'all forgot about George Floyd. That's what we do. Oh, it's cool for a week or two.
Slide over. Slide over.
Y'all got Jay in the back seat hiding on the floor.
Who that? Oh, no, they Mexicans. They Mexicans. I was gonna stop the car by seeing somebody in there black. Listen, we gotta go at this consistently, y'all. That's what you gotta understand. Consistency is gonna be the only way you get this fixed. If you do the same thing like we did with Mike Brown, George Floyd, and everybody else, we raise hell for a little bit, we go burn some shit, and then we forget about it, then this stuff keeps happening. It's not just Jay Morrison that's stealing from people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We coming for the rest of y'all scammers too, so be scared. Be very scared.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell y'all, anybody that's scamming, I want y'all to just send me the DM with the proof.
I ain't got you yet. I got all them receipts.
Yeah. Just keep sending them to me. We just gonna fuck them up.
Right.
Make sure they can't eat. Like, stop letting these people do this shit and get away with it, and we using, oh, they black, so we not gonna say nothing. No, bro.
That's why you more accountable. You ain't supposed to do this to your people.
Y'all don't say nothing when the white people do it. Yo, get out of here with that dumb shit.
Now we gonna say something when you do. I don't want to get no death threats. Y'all be posting that to me.
You're welcome.
I ain't got time.
Thank you.
I just want to punch somebody and get it over.
You sound like me, but
I know, I was watching your live, that's why I was laughing. I was like, he go in, I go in. I have my own scammer I'm dealing with named Dr. Watkins, and I go in on him the same way. People tell me I shouldn't say that.
Well, I was wondering why Boyce was being. I was wondering why Boyce wasn't saying shit about Jay. I said something to Boyce in the comments because I was like, yo, why you haven't addressed what Jay's doing wrong?
He not go because he owe all kind of black women who work for him money. He stole my domain name, even though it wasn't in my contract. Stole all my email addresses, so I could not. I got receipts talking about, oh, I forgot I bought it. I bet your ass did forget. I'll give it back. Ask me, do I have it back though? Trying to hold it hostage because he can't make no money off me. He thought I wasn't gonna be able to make no money because I couldn't have my domain name. That's okay. I'll be the real MecheeX. It's fine, bro. It's fine. But it's all kind of sisters that came to the forefront. He owe money to that work for him, and he won't give them their money. And he do the same thing to them. He block them. I'm the only one he ain't blocked because see, when you got an enemy that's willing to talk, because he got the right one this time that's willing to speak up. He want to watch my every move because he worried about what I'll say and I'll do. But all them other sisters, he blocked them off.
Where he at? He in Atlanta?
No, he ain't in Atlanta.
We need to go meet him wherever he at.
Right.
That's what we start doing. And by the way, hey, for everybody that's here, right?
He got a wedding coming. We could go outside and protest that mud.
Hey, look, for everybody.
We throw some rice to him and his wife.
I got a little surprise that I brought with me today. Because I figured that Jay probably was going to have the Black House full fortress and security, and
You was right.
and we kind of expected that.
He called the police on us last night.
But I got something that, one thing about what I do is I wholesale, right? So I specialize in finding homeowners.
What homeowner you done found?
So, I'm doing that.
Did you find it online?
Yeah, so 14450 Creek Club Drive, Milton, Georgia. 14450 Creek Club Drive, Milton, Georgia. After we leave here today, got a new address that we're gonna stop by.
You can go driving for dollars.
We're just gonna go driving for dollars a little bit. So we did a little research. 14450 Creek Club Drive, Milton, Georgia. That's where the people's new king and queen.
What's that address again, Tony? Yeah, we need to put that lock that in.
14.
They didn't come and greet us. We just want to let them know we was here. We'll go find them.
14450 Creek Club Drive.
One last time.
14450 Creek Club Drive, Milton, Georgia. 14450 Creek Club Drive, Milton, Georgia.
That's a nice house.
I used to work up there. It's crazy.
So,
It's a nice house.
so for starters, I think his neighbors right now are probably getting some text messages and some ringless voicemails, letting them know that they live next to a scammer. So,
You said they getting alerts?
yeah, so no, their neighbors are all being made aware who lives next door, who just moved in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So there's over a couple hundred people that live in that neighborhood, and we made sure that they all got text messages and voicemails to know who lives beside
That
them.
was Tony's housewarming gift to you guys.
Welcome home, nigga.
Explain the context of the property. We got some people who don't know what the property is.
Okay, so
And that is the first.
so for all y'all that don't know, the king and the queen just bought their first piece of real estate
The first piece after all of this?
in real life.
In real life, the first one?
Yeah,
I thought they owned like 5,000 pieces. The way they talk.
and they use a realtor, so that means that they pay retail for a fix and flip house, which means he's not a real estate investor. Because a real estate investor would know you don't use a fucking realtor ever.
They got an address.
So, oh yeah.
He teaching people something he don't know.
How is he
Because
teaching?
it's a scam. He get taught in 5 minutes after you tell him, he be like, all right, I got it, that's the note. And he jump in the camera like, so this is what we gonna do.
How did I find it? That's what I do.
This is a true real estate professional.
When
In real life.
you when you actually are like in the game, it's very easy to find somebody.
Absolutely.
Like that's what we do. Like I got a company that we provide with your phone numbers, your email addresses, your address. That's what we find. All I need is a little bit of information, and after that. So yeah. So after we leave here, let's do a little quick little drive by, go driving for dollars, because I want to teach y'all a little bit about the real estate game.
And I want to learn.
Yeah, so I want to teach y'all like. So what we gonna do here before we leave? Because I think it's good. Like it's getting a little hot, but we got good weather, right? So Jay likes using the whiteboard. You got the whiteboard for me? Yeah.
You better learn something about some real estate, y'all.
I'm about to actually give y'all some game of how you can actually make money in real life in real estate. Like even like in properties like in areas like this, I'm gonna show you what you look for and how you talk to these homeowners so you can actually make some money. So now we're gonna go into this a little bit.
Walking for dollars.
Nah,
it. No, this one can definitely.
Real education now.
I would take one. We got this on film.
Oh yeah, this is going. I'm telling you, this is going to be stuff that people can really like take today, implement it, and go get paid.
I'm about to go do it.
Can you email me the slides? Do I got it? I got it in here somewhere. The running proof. Do I got it in here?
Go over there and ask that police officer if they got some water. I'm about to go ask them.
Why on the outside?
Flashlight count. I see you.
They probably over there mad we ain't walk over there.
It's like one, just one pack out of the box.
Nobody you talking about.
I got it, Chief.
Y'all over there for nothing. We ain't think about you.
Police behind the gate. They had dogs.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bit. I'm gonna look over.
Got plenty of these.
Hey, look. So I want y'all like right now. I want y'all to really like take this serious because I'm about to really break down some stuff that'll really help you. All right. So take your notepads out on your iPhones. If y'all got iPhones or whatever, take your notepads out. We don't need it. You got the marker. All right.
That is 48 minutes away.
I'm about to give y'all a live training on how to make money in real estate right now. You see. I don't need that. I don't need that. Hey, y'all can hear me? Everybody can hear me back there? You good? Yeah? No, you can hear me. All right. So if y'all don't know who I am, my name is Tony the Closer. I'm not just a hater of Jay Morrison, right? I'm a little bit more than that. I'm actually a real estate professional. I teach people how to flip real estate properties without having to have a real estate license, without having to have credit, without having to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. My dad, get this a little backstory, my dad's been doing real estate investing for about 26 years, worth over $100 million in real life. Like, so when you start talking about just backstory and knowing who you're getting this information from, it's important to know, like, you're getting it from somebody that's been around it, like, actually does it, like, family in it. And this is, like, really how it kind of changed my life. So just for starters, the key to most of us right now is we started putting, like, roadblocks in our head of how we can't get into real estate. I don't have money. So I don't have credit. I got a bad background. Whatever it might be. Like, how many of y'all think that you got to have good credit, good background, all that to get started? A lot of y'all probably think that, right? That's what I did.
Thank you, sir.
When I first got in the real estate, I thought that I had to have all these you know good credentials. Well, wholesaling is something it's a loophole, and essentially this is where you're actually just using paper. So you're signing contracts. So our whole thing is we want to be the pawn shop of real estate. I always tell people to think about wholesaling as the pawn shop of real estate. So the whole idea of what we want to be doing is not looking for the people that have the properties that are in excellent condition and everything's going good, right? Think about the pawn shop. Who goes to the pawn shop? Somebody needs money quickly, stressed out, going through stuff. 2017, I was coming out of jail. My house was up for foreclosure, repossessions and everything. I needed money fast. I went and sold my Louis Vuitton shit for like $700-800. Shit that's worth $4,000 or $5,000, I sold it for $700-800. Why? Because I needed cash quickly. That's wholesaling. So the wholesaling mindset is what you want to understand is that we're not looking for the person that has the house that's MLS ready. So this house right here probably wouldn't be a house that we would look at, okay? When you look at a house like this, it looks like it's pretty updated for this neighborhood. We want to look for the ones that look a little bit more stressed out and distressed. So we want the properties that look like boarded up. You might see tarps on the windows, code violations on the outside. You might see a flooded mailbox. You might see grass 6 feet high. You want to look for the people in the properties that look distressed. One of the mistakes and things that people, it's a common misconception, is people think you only got to go into the hood. It's not just going into the hood. Yes, you can find properties in the hood, but you can also find the worst houses in the nicer neighborhoods. So let's talk about some stuff real quick. Where should you be looking at to find your properties? Before we do that, where should you look at? Anywhere right underneath your nose. If you're driving right now, you're going to the grocery store, I want you to start paying attention to what you drive past. A lot of us go right past our daily routines and we have stuff right under our nose that are gold mines that we just overlook. I had it happen next door to me. My neighbor grass looking all high, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck he doing? He cut his grass. A couple days later, he done sold his house. And I'm an expert, but like because it's right under my nose, I ain't even thinking about it. So a lot of y'all don't understand that even in your own neighborhoods, you can find deals without even having to have a car or whatever like that, okay? So don't give yourself any excuses of why you can't get started. So, 3 things that we like to look for as far as the types of distress that I look for. I look for physical distress, circumstantial distress, or what's my last one, T? Physical, circumstantial, and financial. No, yeah, that's right. Physical, circumstantial, and financial distress. Those are the 3 things we're looking for. So under physical distress, we just talked about the things that we would see. Tall grass, beat up house, looks like it's falling apart, all those different things. Financial distress, right? These are people that are going through foreclosure. You know, maybe lost your jobs, all this stuff that's going on with COVID. We got a lot of people that's getting impacted with what's happening right now with that, right? Maybe somebody that's like going through circumstantial distress, divorce, death, right? These things happen. You got COVID, somebody dies, that's a circumstantial distress. So we got multiple layers of ways that we can actually find people that are motivated, that'll want to do business with us, right? Keys. The number one thing in this business is to understand with wholesaling, you don't need a license. All you need is a wholesale contract. Very simple. Any real estate contract with an assignment, it's an assignment. So essentially what we're doing is we're finding somebody that has a property that they need to sell fast. That pawn shop theory, right? So somebody that's going to the pawn shop, their house might be worth 100, but it needs a little bit of work, right? They don't have the money to fix it up. So they'll take 60. And what we want to do is we don't want to talk to the people that know that they got everything together. We want to talk to the people that got something going on. Like we want the pain points. We want the people that need to make stuff happen. Right now, when I first got in the game, the first thing I looked at was foreclosure. You know why? Because I was losing my fucking house. I was trying to figure out, you know, a lot of times when you're going through shit, that's when you start trying to figure shit out. You start trying to figure like, yo, let me fix this myself. So I went to the courthouse, and at the courthouse, you know, and this is important. We got to start making sure we go to the courthouse. It's not bad to go to the courthouse. I'm like, this is one of the best places to find cash buyers, to find all the real like data. Like a lot of times people say, hey Tony, I don't have the money to go buy data and find all these leads. You can go straight to the courthouse. Everybody that has any records, it comes from the courthouse. Boom. She got all my steps and everything. Look at Tina. Shout out to Tina. So the main thing that you want to understand is that because all these different distresses coming, physical, circumstantial, and financial, we need to be able to market to these people. So marketing is going to be the number one way that you get paid. The real estate contract gives us this thing called an assignment, which we basically can take. I can say, okay, Meechee, you want to sell your house that's worth $100,000. I'm going to offer you 60 because it needs some work that needs to be done to it, and I still need to be able to see a profit. You probably say for example, you owe 50 on a house. You get to make 10,000. I get to get that property for 60. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna go to Deshaun because he's a cash buyer. And I'm gonna say, hey Deshaun, I got this house that needs $10,000 worth of repairs, and I got it under contract for 60,000. It's worth 100 plus.
So is that them people that say buy houses for cash?
Buy houses for cash. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's it. They're not really buying it with cash. We don't buy. What we're doing is we're using the paperwork. So wholesaling allows you a contract, and this means that you don't need to have any money. But the best part about wholesaling is you have little to nothing to lose and everything to gain. So with that contract, it gives you a 30-day option to be able to cancel, right? So I basically get your property under contract, and I got 30 days to go find me a buyer. So I make a deal with you, Meechee. I'm gonna now go and find me a buyer that I know I got a great deal that I can sell to them on this contract. And then I'm gonna assign my contract and my interest in that contract to that end buyer. Okay? So it's 10 steps to this. It's straightforward. Like I like to keep things very easy. I don't want to complicate it for you. I want you to be able to go and get started right away. And I got people like Deshaun right here. He made $35,000. He's actually in the Rona Proof webinar. I talk about it. So he can vouch for what I'm about to show with you right here in a minute. That's real. So step number one is I get all my data from closersdata.com. www.closersdata.com. That's PropStream. I got an affiliate link. You get 10,000 records a month. for $97. So all this stuff that right here, this is not even you investing into no course, and I ain't even going to try to sell you my course. I'm just going to tell you what you invest in to get started and start marketing so you can get in the game. Step one, we're going to go to closersdata.com. And closersdata.com, and I got if you follow me on YouTube, I got a full breakdown of how you use it. Essentially, this is where we're going to find all those properties. So instead of having to leave your house, I'm going to teach you how to do all this stuff. I call it Rona proof, right? Rona proof means what? You ain't even got to leave the house. Hey, we look. You can sit. You can sit in the crib, and everything that we're doing, you can get paid in real estate. So number one thing you gotta do in the game is you gotta be able to have sellers that you can market to. So we get all our seller leads from closersdata.com. Not only our seller leads, but this is where you're gonna get MLS access to be able to see like all the property valuations, what's been sold in the area, all your comps, everything is all here. So you can see what's trending in the market. It's really, really deep data. And as a matter of fact, they actually have an app now, so you can pull it right on your phone, and you can do it from your phone. So I'm gonna tell you what I do in Closers Data. A couple things that I target. It's gonna show you, number one, I like pre-foreclosure leads. Okay? Why do I like pre-foreclosure leads? We know that they got a deadline. The bank coming to take that shit anyway. So because there's a deadline, I like people with deadlines, because people with deadlines, I know I can talk shit to them. Girl, don't play with me. The bank about to come and take it on the end. But I have fun with my people though. Like, I'm gonna be like, hey, the bank gonna come take it at the end of the month anyway. You might as well sell to me and make a little bit of something off it. So the number one thing that I want to do is I want to have people that have motivation. Motivation is everything. Remember, we the pawn shop of real estate. We're not realtors. This is the biggest misconceptions. People think realtor. When they think real estate, the only thing you gotta have, like, you gotta be a realtor, have a real estate license. Excuse me. You're not a realtor. We're just gonna be investors exchanging contracts. We're the middleman, and you literally have nothing to lose. So everybody on here that sees this from wherever, you should take action today, not tomorrow. Like I got people that sending me DMs that they just made 9, 10, 15,000 plus. Derby here made 103. He's made, how much you made so far? 35 in the fix and flip. So 35,000, just so y'all know. What I say the average black man make 34,000 a year? He made that in one deal. Just so y'all know that, right? Average black woman makes 31,000 a year. He made that in one deal. All right. So we're gonna go to Closers Data. We're gonna get all the we're gonna find whatever market, and I want y'all to come watch my webinar online where you can get more detail, because I'm doing this fast. You can go to ronaproof.com to watch the actual webinar. On there, it actually breaks down the actual the list, so you can break down in the detail. I go exactly what you should be pulling, so you know exactly what criteria. I really go deep into it. But I'll tell you, pre-foreclosures, what we want to look for is people that got something that's going on where there's equity in the property. We don't want to talk to people that don't have equity. Equity is basically how much the difference between what you owe the bank and what your property is worth. So if your property is worth $100,000 and you owe 50, you got $50,000 in equity. So we want to target people that have at least 30% equity or more. We want people that we can actually do deals with. So, like, most of y'all might understand equity from a car better. Like, if you got a car that is worth $5,000, but you owe the bank $15,000, you're upside down, right? You need gap insurance, so you're gonna be in that bitch forever. Well, same idea. Like, equity is a position where you want to be. We want to be talking to the people that's not upside down, but we want to be talking to the people that actually have room to be able to negotiate. People that actually have equity in their property are more likely to be able to negotiate because they don't have to come out of pocket. That's going to be the whole thing. If you got somebody that's going through foreclosure or something like that, they ain't paying the bank. That probably means they don't have money, right? So if they're not paying the bank, we don't want to come to them and say, hey, you need more money. We want to talk to the people that and say, hey, look, we know when I come and talk to you, you actually have the ability to be able to sell your property and do it without having to come out of pocket. So we want to target people that have 30% equity or more. The next thing that we do, and this is my secret, right? So I get data, and then I like to send ringless voicemails and texts, like I ain't gonna, like, yeah, we like to send ringless voicemails and texts. So text messaging has been something that literally changed the game for me. Like most people, old school, cold calling, sending out postcards, all that stuff gets really, really either monotonous or expensive. And a lot of people don't have the money to be able to sustain and consistently do postcards or internet PPC and stuff like that. So last year, I was like, yo, all I do is I be on my phone. Let me try marketing to all my sellers through text. And in the first month that I started doing the marketing through text, had my first 6-figure month. Had my first deal. I made $88,500 in one deal, and it was literally the same list that we were calling and not getting anybody to answer.
They answering the text.
They responded to the text. So now I was like, oh shit, this is the way. Okay, so now we go from barely getting in contact with people to now we're able to get in contact with people. So now we can start the process of seeing who's a good fit for us. Remember, everybody's not going to be a good fit. One of the biggest things I see people do is they take it personal when they can't get that 1 or 2 deals. It's a numbers game. So the data is very important. And that's why I like the prop stream and using closersdata.com, because you get to put the numbers in your advantage. You get 10,000 records a month for $97. That's a lot of people that you can market to, right? So imagine this, we got 10,000 people that we get a month. Now we can send them text messages. And, excuse me, now that we, like, once we get the properties and everybody, we got to skip trace them. So step 2 in the process is we got to get those phone numbers. You know how, like I just told y'all my little secret about where we know where Jay at? It's called through skip tracing. Skip tracing is a way where you essentially...
Watch out. Watch your back, brother. Watch your back.
So essentially what you're doing is you're going, skip tracing is looking at and finding the phone numbers and next to kin. So it's like when people skip bond or something like that, this is what bondsmen use. So we use a software that finds people essentially. Like we want to know where you are. So that's step 2. All this stuff is on my webinar, but I want to make sure you understand it. After we get these phone numbers, the next important thing is to now start marketing to them. I see too many people that get in the business and they go into, I got to learn everything, but they don't actually take steps. You know, it's like the analysis paralysis. So the thing I want to do is I want to keep you from getting into the analysis paralysis. So we're gonna get that data from PropStream. We're gonna skip trace it, and then immediately what we start doing is we start sending out text messages and cold calling all these sellers. I know my boy Chris over here. He's doing really well in the St. Louis market, wholesaling. What we do is once we get that data, we instantly start now marketing to these people. Like, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. Because we feel like when we start marketing that we got to make our full sales pitch in the initial message. So what I want you to do is understand our initial message isn't to close somebody on a deal. Our initial message is to figure out if they have a property that they'd be interested in receiving more information on an offer. So we want to reach out to all these people and just say, hey, happy whatever day, happy Thursday. Do you still own a property at da-da-da address? Question mark. We want to, our initial messages are all questions, okay? Not that I buy houses and I buy cash and all that bullshit. You're gonna look like spam. People gonna just instantly ignore you. We want to ask a question like, hey, happy Thursday, whatever. Do you still own property? Da-da-da, question mark. Because I want the response. I want engagement. I want to know I got the right phone number. Because for starters, somebody might say, eat shit. I don't want to do business with you. But I at least want to know I connected to the right person, right? So we want to just obviously make sure we connect with those people. Now.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Quick question. Are you doing text and voicemail or one or the other?
You can do both, either or. They all work.
Okay.
And they're all inexpensive. So you can do a mixture of text alone. You can do ringless voicemail and text together, which is a really strong way. So you can really do whatever your preference is. But this is going to get you the highest. Like, first off, understand this. When you start texting people, you're going straight to their cell phone. One thing you got to understand, what do people not do? Answer unknown numbers. They don't answer unknown numbers. But when you send that voicemail, you can actually say, hey, check. You can send a text that comes right behind it and say, hey, I just left you an important message. Check that. So we can just use some little psychology to be able to get people now that probably wouldn't check that message to now look at that message. So that's the whole idea in the marketing. We want to get these people that show distress and they're motivated to be able to now start communicating with us. Because a lot of times what happens is people lose their house straight back to the bank because they don't know their options. So a lot of people be like, okay, I'm about to lose my house on the 5th. You know, I'm just gonna ride it out to the 5th. So don't assume that just because people don't know. So we want to inform them that there's options and they don't have to just take the loss. So we always come from a serving position. Like a lot of people think that it's predatory that you're reaching out to people that might be going through it. The bank's about to take the fucking house anyway, right? So you might as well reach out to them. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Remember with this contract, if you can't find a buyer, you can cancel and say, my bad, sorry. That's the reality of wholesaling. So we're gonna send out our list. Send out our text, ringless voicemails. Step 4, we want to make offers. So we get on the phone with these people. The next step after we get on the phone with them is we got to start presenting offers to people. So there's a formula that we use. Can we got it back with that board? All right. I'm just gonna do this. Damn, I can't even. I ain't gonna put that. Don't worry about it. So I'll break it down for you. So basically, what we want to do, there's a formula that Jay Morrison doesn't use when he buys real estate, apparently, because he's got that shit all fucked up. But it's all in the details, right? But you're supposed to buy shit ARV, like most investors, ARV, so whatever the after repair value, that's what ARV means. After the property's fixed up in its selling condition, that's your after repair value. So you say, what is worth after it's fixed up times 70%. So if the house would be worth $100,000 fixed up, you would multiply that by 70%. Okay, so $100,000 house, that'd be 70,000. Once you get there, so you go ARV times 70%. The next thing you do is you gotta say, okay, what are the repairs on the property? How much does it actually take to get this property fixed up to a 2020 standard? So what we want to do is we want to and I know a lot of y'all aren't experts at knowing how to do repairs. You never probably did real estate before. So you're like, damn, Tony, I don't know how to get repairs. So there's many ways that you can get repairs. All right. First off, doing it virtually. A lot of times what we overlook is just the simple fact that we can ask the homeowner, hey, have you had anybody come by and give you an appraisal on what it costs to fix up your property? Because sometimes the homeowners already have somebody come through. So, hey, how much do you think it's going to cost to get your property fixed up? On the webinar, I want everybody to go watch that webinar. We actually break down the formula of showing you how to come up with the actual repair costs. But what we want to do is ARV times 70% minus whatever repairs. So if it needs $15,000 in repairs, we're going to subtract $15,000 from that $70,000. And then we're going to say, how much money do we want to make? Because you got to factor in how much profit we want to make on that deal. So we're going to say, all right, we're going to use $15,000 in repairs. And then we're going to say, I want to make 10 G's. So we're going to take that $70,000 that we had, and now we're going to subtract $25,000. $15,000 for repairs, $10,000 for the profit that we want to make in the deal. I don't remember what you did in your deal, but he structured his where he can make $35,000, right? So you can work your deals to, you say, oh, okay, you know, I found something at a very reasonable price. It's a great steal. Maybe somebody just didn't want to deal with it, right? So they're like, hey, let me just get rid of this thing and liquidate it and get whatever I can. So you use this formula. So if you use this formula, huh?
It'll be the white cop come over here and say
the white
something.
cop all this
It's been police here all day.
They gonna send the white cop out here?
It's been police all day. Not here. They've been hired because we're protesting over here at this building.
But look, hey yo, I want y'all to focus. Fuck that.
Be the white cop.
Let's
Keep on
focus.
driving like the rest of them motherfuckers did.
All right, let's focus. We're learning right now.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm quiet if I get everybody in trouble out here. I can't.
All right, so what we want to do is we want to take into consideration what? How we take the numbers. We go ARV, the 100,000 times the 70%, minus the repairs, minus our assignment fee that we want to make. And that's what we're going to offer to the seller. So we're going to make that offer to the seller. So if we got, what's that, 70,000 minus 25,000, somebody got math, what's that math? Minus 25, 70,000 minus 25,000. 45. So that's going to be our max allowable offer is the 45,000. So that's the most that we can offer to a seller is 45,000 and still be able to make that $10,000 in profit. Okay, so if we know that our max allowable offer is 45, we don't go into the negotiation at 45, right? We gonna go in a negotiation maybe at 35. So we got room to be able to go up if you want to always give yourself cushion. Because if you start off at the 45, somebody gonna say they want 50. If you start off at 20, they're gonna say they want. You can do anywhere. You can pick whatever market that you want. But save those questions to the end. I'll make sure everybody on track. But save those questions to the end. Now that we're making those offers, we're gonna start having the same contracts. So remember, we're doing all this from home. So now that we're making those offers, we're gonna start having the same contracts. Remember, we're doing all this from home. Remember, you said you like being in the house, right? So this whole process is teaching you how to do everything without ever having to leave the house. Never ever have to see the house.
So you don't have to walk through the actual property?
You don't have to walk through the property. You don't have to see the property. Everything that you're doing is virtual.
Okay.
So it's Rona proof. That's why we teaching this, right? And in the webinar on step 4, I talk about also getting pictures and how the exact pictures that you need. So it's important that everybody goes and actually watches the webinar. I'm giving you kind of the shortened version here, so you kind of get a scope of how to do it. But on the webinar, I break down how you actually get what pictures you would actually ask and request from the sellers and everything, so you get a full understanding of how you position yourself and everything. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff is very easy. It's just doing it. And a lot of people charge 10, 20, 30 grand for this shit, and I give it away for free on the webinar, because at the end of the day, this is the type of stuff that you need right now in a pandemic. Like not selling it for $700 and then you gotta now if you want to get live coaching from me and all that, now that's $2,000. That's my time. You got to deal with me. But you got me.
I just want to put it right here, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, but on the webinar we break down how you actually get the pictures, what pictures you need from the seller, so you can get everything that was going to help you not have to go there, right? Because basically what we're going to say is, hey, look, you're going to be your seller is now working for you essentially. They're going to give you pictures and everything that you can now send to all your cash buyers. All right? So we're going to get all this information. Then after we do that, they're going to agree with us on a number, right? And then we're going to send them a contract. And there's a couple things, places that you can go. You can go to DocuSign.com. There's multiple contract right signature. There's many that you can use. I use DocuSign, but you can use any of them. The key for everybody, if you don't have a wholesaling contract, in my Facebook group, you can get a free version. In my actual course, I have my actual contract that I give to my students. I got that one from my dad, who is obviously a super expert. So you just know that you're kind of backed as far as having the right stuff for you right there. All right. So you're going to send your contract to those sellers. Remember that we position ourselves to make $10,000+. After we send that contract to the seller and they sign that contract, we go to step 6, which is opening up escrow and taking it to the title company. This is a very, very important part of the process, right? So now the sellers has now agreed to the contract. They signed with us. This is the best part about wholesaling. We get to control this property with just this paperwork. But all you need to do is go to your title company and give them anywhere between 10 and $100. You don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you want to have equitable interest in the deal. The number one mistake I see newbies make is they try to shortcut this part right here and they don't put money down. Even if it's just $10, you now have equitable interest in that deal. That's a real deal now. You've now made it a real deal. So many people, they be like, I ain't got it right now. Borrow the $10. All you need is $10. It's important to make sure that you do that. So now that when you open up escrow, this goes to the title company or the closing attorney. And this is what happens now is essentially they're opening and doing like a background to make sure that everybody's going first and foremost get everything done. So all parties are being protected. So in escrow, the homeowner is going to know that his property is protected. We know that the cash buyer, when he sends his money in, everybody knows that there's no funny business. going on that token, right? But things that are happening is making sure there's no liens or anything that are on the property. So we got to make sure everybody is owed, if no judgments, all that stuff that could be attached to the property. So while it's in escrow, we're going to be now searching for our cash buyer. And this is important because a lot of people say they wait till they get the cash buyer to open up escrow, and you can do your own thing. The reason why I like to open up escrow first is I like to protect my deal if the homeowner might be shady. Because sometimes you might agree with somebody for $60,000, right? And then they go talk to somebody else and they be like, yeah, I give you $65,000. They try to cut you out. So I like to get my paperwork tight as quickly as possible. First off, we're gonna put that earnest money in, making sure that we solidify our deal, solidify our position in the contract. The next thing we want to do is, if we got somebody that's really shady, we can even file a memorandum, where that means that it basically clouds the title. That means they can only do business after they come through you, because you actually have a working agreement with them. You don't have to do this all the time, but only for people that might be a little, like, they might be a little shady. You feel it. You know who you need to use it with. All right. So step 7. After we open up title and put in escrow, we're gonna now start searching for cash buyers. And this is where a lot of people like get intimidated. They're like, Tony, where do I find cash buyers at? This is the easiest thing to find. A good deal finds buyers all day long. Good deals find buyers. So first off, you got to think about it just like this, right? Right now, how many people do you see investing in the stocks and everything else? Everybody, right? Why? Because it's low. Even people that never invested before. Why? Because it's a good deal. People know what a good deal is. Same thing in your area. All you got to do is skip trace them. Real estate. People are looking right now to put their money in good deals. So there's no shortage of cash buyers. Where can you find cash buyers? First off, on PropStream, there's access to all the cash buyers directly in your area. All you got to do is skip trace them and start marketing to them. Freeway, but let's talk about freeways. You can go on Facebook groups. Right on Facebook, there's cash buyer groups on Facebook. You can just put Atlanta cash buyers. Put it online. You can post your deal right there. Be careful in Atlanta, because you know niggas be Jay out here, y'all. Niggas like Jay out here, so you gotta be careful. But like I'm just keeping it real. It's niggas like Jay that's gonna try to steal your fucking deal. So y'all niggas in Atlanta know what y'all be doing, y'all. Yeah, y'all know. Yeah. So well, hedge funds buy deals, but things that we want to look at. Going to the courthouse, right? Remember I said go to the courthouse. Remember when they have those auctions and everything? Who buys at auctions? Cash buyers. So if you go to an auction and you see somebody raising their hand and bidding, you might want to go, hey, I got a few properties that I might be able to send to you, because I find off-market properties all the time. So you want to get familiar with who's actually buying in your area. In PropStream, there's a fix and flipper list, meaning people that have actually fixed and flipped properties in the last 6 months in that area. So that's another tool that I will use, and I will market to them, because we already know that they're active in that area. So if you find a deal, yes.
What's that again?
So finding the fix and flippers, that's on closersdata.com. So under close, and all of this is on my webinar too. So if you go to ronaproof.com, you can watch it on the webinar. But basically what you do is, inside the PropStream app, there's a tab that you can actually find the flippers. All you gotta do is put the zip code that you have your property in and put in flippers, and it's gonna show you everybody in that zip code that's recently flipped the property. So now what I'm gonna do is what? I'm gonna market to all those people and let them know that I got a deal that might interest them. So now we got another way that we can do it. More ways that you can find cash buyers. You can go to your local RIA groups, right? There's RIA groups that happen. You can go there and get familiar with the people around there. Other wholesalers in your area, right? Bandit signs. So you see those "We Buy Houses Cash." Those are either wholesalers or buyers every single time. It ain't nobody in between. So if you call those, you're going to find them. Another thing you can do, you ever go ride by a property and you see a bunch of people fixing up the house? Stop. Get out the car. Hey, who's fixing this house? Is he looking for any more houses? I found so many really, really good buyers by getting out of my car and looking at the people that's actually fixing shit. Because Jay gonna tell you he fixing shit in real life, but but we know what that is, right? Like, it's really not happening. But you need to you want to get real buyers. You want people that you know, like, okay, I got a deal. When I bring the deal to them, they're going to have the money. It's not going to be any bullshit. And they're going to be ready to buy it instantly. Because remember, we got 30 days to make this happen. And how do you know if a cash buyer is real? First off, cash buyers don't need a mortgage. Okay? Cash buyers have actual cash. So they have the ability to be able to close typically within 7 to 10 days. That's important. So you need to ask them, hey, how many deals are you actually buying? How soon can you actually close? Very important. How soon can you actually close? Now, we got the buyers. The buyer agrees to us. We're going to now do an assignment contract. We're going to agree to a price that we're going to sell that contract to the buyer. So we know that we got it for, 45? We want, like, right? 45 was our MAO? Yeah, so we want to be able to sell it for at least 45 to make our 10,000. So we got to sell it for what, 60? So we're going to send the cash buyer offer for 60. Maybe he negotiates with us. Remember, you are in control of the actual real estate at this point. When you have the contract, your shit don't stink, okay? Because you got the property. You got the crack, they want it. Understand that. For all my guys that's in the street, you got the dope, they want that dope from you. When you got a good deal, they want to get that from you. So don't give up your leverage and knowing that you control the asset, because you do. So you got all the control and all the power, and don't give that up. So we're going to do an assignment contract once we come to an agreement with the cash buyer. This is a separate contract. This is basically an agreement between you and that cash buyer, which you're going to be actually selling them that property for. All right. Now, when you do that assignment contract with a cash buyer, something that's very, very important is that you want to get a non-refundable earnest money deposit. They got to put skin in the game. That's the biggest mistake I made with Jay, is I ain't make him put skin in the game. You think he backs out of that 100K club event if he had 100K up like I did? He ain't had no money in it. It's easy to back out when you ain't got no investment in it. Oh, we 2 weeks before it, I got 100,000 in it. Nah, fuck it. I got to do this shit with this nigga, even though he a dickhead. But when I ain't got no money in it, I holler, and I ain't give you that money either, nigga. That's the difference, right? So we want to make sure you got skin in the game. Every cash buyer, you want to make sure they put at least $2,500 down on the deal, non-negotiable. Okay? If they really want the property, they got to give you a $2,500 non-refundable earnest money deposit. With that non-refundable earnest money deposit, it can't